So let's say I was just in a car accident and the other driver's insurance is already calling me. What's the first thing I ought to do?
Well, the standard of care basically, and on the plaintiff's side, would be to say, not to trust that when you give statements to insurance companies that they have your best interests in mind. I
But they say they do.
That's true, and I believe that the training that adjusters receive is adequate in that basically they're only supposed to pay what is owed and not a penny more, not a penny less. And I think it gets a little gray when you start talking about what's owed. And at the first notice of loss, it's really difficult to tell what's owed. And because injuries and symptoms don't present immediately and can take some time. So if you say something like, oh, I feel okay, my back's bothering me a little bit, that might get logged inside of an insurer's system as something that's low severity, when in reality, it's could potentially turn into something much more. So I think that for me personally, it's not an undoable fact that someone gives a statement or makes a comment that might hurt their case, from a adjuster's perspective when they're adjusting the claim. And for better for worse, I think adjusters are just trying to do a good job, and that means they serve a duty to their insured and the insurance company. It's a tri-part duty that they owe, which is difficult to juggle. So I get it, but I would generally say, hey, just be careful with what you say. That injuries do creep up. It takes time for you to understand what's fully going on, and if you do make a statement that might be detrimental to your case, I might have to do a little bit more finagling if I'm representing you later to get that case to another adjuster to have a different review, or maybe go into litigation and like actually develop some evidence that can be used to leverage against what, might ultimately be not true, what you said after you first had the accident versus what really happened to you, 2, 3 months later.
So are you better off if it's the other insurance company just to not talk to them and go to an
I
attorney?
mean,
Let's say if you're injured or
I think it depends on what's really wrong with you, and I've seen so many different types of injuries and types of cases. I do believe that some folks don't need an attorney and that some adjuster and unrepresented client relationships can resolve in a mutually beneficial way. But if I'm giving general advice, I would say that it would be good for someone to talk to an attorney maybe, or to do some research about what might happen when they make that first call to the at-fault driver's insurance, or to any insurance company for that matter, just because there are some limitations that adjusters have in what they can and can't do. And, it's it it might be a difficult situation for the client later. So I'd say just be careful, and it really depends. I try not to cast a broad stroke against all insurers or all adjusters. I don't think that would be fair. But there are definitely some bad apples, just like there are on the legal side too. So I would say just, be careful.